Hey everyone, welcome back to my vinyl collection. Today we're talking about Neck Deep and Real Friends. So this is Neck Deep's album Life's Not To Get You. It was released around this time last year, and as you can see on the cover, it's quite busy, it's very funky and playful and very bright, much more cheerful in a way. And I like it because there's a sense of a handmade element to it, because obviously it's been hand drawn. Someone's clearly gone, take some time to draw it up and colour it in and actually, design this whole thing. And I like it because of how, I guess, it's a over-the-top representation of the album title called Life's Not To Get You, showing how the world's quite a hostile place with dragons building on fire, shooting stars, meteorites, whatever, and like wolves and like devils and everything everywhere. And I guess it's a representation of how the world's a dangerous place and life will throw all sorts of crazy things at you, and you have to sort of overcome, endure it, and sort of recover and become stronger. And so on the back is like a map kind of theme, with each of the song titles representing a destination along the journey, which I quite like. Obviously they make references to songs such as Serpents with a massive snake there, and Rocky Mountains being rock bottom, and I guess the houses are supposed to be like citizens of Earth. So that's a kind of nice touch, and I like the design in general. This is a gatefold LP, which means you can open up and you have massive artwork in the middle. There's not actually anything in this side, there's only stuff in here. But again, you carry on the same theme with the cover, with crazy things happening in people's heads. And on this side, for the girl, there's actually this weird, crazy, evil serpent lady. Don't know whether that's referencing the song again, who knows. If I find out who designed this, I'll let you know. I'll put it in the description somewhere or in this video or whatever, just to sort of give credit to. But apart from that, good job. So inside you have, of course, the LP and the lyric sheet up that side here, and on the lyric sheet you have pretty standard way of formatting it. It's not actually on a solid yellow background. It looks like it from this distance, but actually if you look closely it's actually on like a watercolour kind of paper, and I don't know if that's intentional or not, but that's just a nice extra handmade touch to it. On the other side you have the thank yous and all the information, and an interesting fact about this album is that Jeremy from the band A Day To Remember actually helped produce this record, so that's pretty cool. And also he's actually featured on a song called Kalimar, which is a nice guest appearance, I suppose. So the variant I got is the striped red, blue and yellow version. There's actually loads of different versions of this album. I think there's a blue one, and probably individual colours of these, and this just happened to be Bank Records, I think, exclusive. I'm not too sure if it is exclusive to them or it's to independent retailers, but that's the one I got from them anyway. And I like it because obviously it's not your traditional black, it's using different colours, and the colours are actually related to the album cover, which is all well and good. The red is actually a little bit translucent, you can actually see light passes through it, which I quite like. It's a little bit messy because some of the red does bleed into the other two colours, but apart from that it's just quite nice. So if you've actually listened to this album already, I think you can agree that it's definitely a lot more pop punk than the previous releases. It's a lot more cheerful, vibrant, and not as gritty and heavy as the old stuff. I'm not saying they were that heavy, but back then they were compared to the band called The Story So Far quite a lot, and it was always a little bit annoying when people get those two bands confused, because to be honest, their songs did sound quite similar in the style of the guitar and the melodies and Ben singing. But in this one he's definitely improved in singing as well, mainly because of how just less, I guess, angry vocals but more clean vocals and a lot more singing involved, and I think he's definitely improved in that area. And songwriting is a lot more fun, it's a lot more cheerful. They're actually having fun in this album, which I think is a great element of this. So some favourites of this album personally, I think, obviously would be Can't Kick Up the Roots, because that's a perfect single to release as the introduction to the album, because it captures the whole album as a whole, and so you know what you're in store for. Another good one is Kalimar, because I like how it makes references to Indiana Jones, and in general it's just a fun song to listen to. And I like how Jeremy actually features on this album, so the guy from A Day To Remember, he's actually at the end of it, so that's pretty cool. Another favourite would be December, because I like my old, a good old acoustic track in an album. I like it because it deals with things people can relate to, and it's the sadder song, the more mellow track in the album, and it's just nice that he still does that. And because I guess I like it when bands keep this sort of tradition where they'll have a bunch of like pop punk tracks, which are obviously full band songs, and then halfway through or maybe towards the end there'll be like an acoustic track. And I like that they've done that, so that's great. So if you don't know who these guys are, but you're a fan of the bands such as The Story So Far, As It Is, Knuckle Puck, Real Friends, Seaway, if you like those guys, then you'll like these guys, so definitely check them out if you haven't already. Very simple painted backdrop with... Oh my god! Shut up! No one cares about your engine. No one does. No one gives a fuck. All right, shush. Sorry, it's really loud out there. So next up is Real Friends' album Maybe It Stays the Same and We're Just Changing. That's what we call, right? Yeah, quite a long title. For the cover, I like it because it's not like a heavily over-designed cover, because you get bands, and it's good that they do this sometimes, but you know, where obviously they've got someone to design it properly and take the time to sort of like colour it and everything and whatnot. But this one, it's pretty much just a photo of, I think, someone's like living room or bedroom or whatever, because you've got a very simple painted backdrop and someone's belongings in the centre here. And on the back, it obviously is a shelf, so I guess it's someone's house. And it seems to be their theme that they've got going on, because in the latest album, it's like a room. So I guess it would be too much of a surprise if this is someone's house. So for this cover, I think it's interesting because it's just images of these belongings here, but it also, I don't know about you, but it suggests a very kind of lonesome, very sad, somber kind of feeling when you look at it, and I think that it's done really well if that's the message it puts across. And because of how simple it is and how, I guess, personal it is, because it's someone's belongings. I don't know who actually these are in the photo. If you know, let me know. But I don't know whether it's related to somebody in the band or not. Maybe not. Maybe it's just a picture of some random. But because just little things like that makes this album cover quite interesting. So this is the inner sleeve, and as you can see, it's a photo of the band, and with a little message at the bottom, basically saying, expressing their gratitude towards the fans, saying basically thank you, we wouldn't be here if it was for you. But also saying how they hope that these songs help people get through things, and I think that's a very personal touch, and I guess adds a bit of sentiment towards it. And I quite like the fact that bands acknowledge the fact that songs can help people, and hoping that they would help people, and gives them, I guess, a bit more motive to write songs to express how they themselves have endured and gone through things, and hopefully some people can and hopefully move forward, because that's also what this album's all about. It's about moving forward and overcoming various struggles you have in life, and I think that's just quite a nice little touch to it. The back is quite simple. It's just black and white. You get your lyrics, and in a very sort of standard font that I've seen everywhere. But yeah, that's pretty much it for the sleeve. Let's take a look inside. So this is the awesome vinyl you get inside, and as you can tell straight away, it's really cool design because of how it's a different colour to the rest of the ones I have. Usually it would be like clear and there's a splatter effect, or it's very solid and whatnot. But this one, it's the royal blue and purple splatter variant. I got this one from Merch Now. I think you can get it from other places, but actually no, there was only 1,500 of these made, and I think it's sold out by now. I'm not too sure, but you can have a look if you want. But yeah, I got mine from Merch Now, and that was like last November, so I think that's when they released this one. So I like this vinyl, this variant, because it's slightly transparent, slightly see-through or translucent. Light does pass through it slightly. I don't know if you can tell. And it's nice because both sides are actually slightly different. You get the side which has the blue and purple, but this side is more purple and dark blue. And one criticism I have for this design is the fact that it's not a true splatter effect. It's not painted or whatever. I'm not sure how they make it, but it's not like a genuine one. It's been printed on, it seems like. But it's quite nice because it still has this sort of like a faded kind of soft, chalky kind of effect, which is quite nice. So I'm not really complaining. So yeah, so that's the design. Personally, I think these guys is a very good example of a contemporary emo pop punk band of the 21st century. Mainly because of Dan's vocals in this album, or in all the songs that they do, because he does a really good job in combining angry, like unclean, shouty vocals with clean vocals, and the way they mix those two up sometimes works really well. And I think his singing, especially the shouty bits, really do capture how emotionally distraught you'd be in the situations that he sings about, whether it be heartbreak or whatever, or whether you've lost somebody or anything terrible you've gone through. The way he sings really does capture that emotion, and it just conjures up a very somber effect, and encapsulates how angry you would be in those times and how sad you would be as well. And also, this band resonates to me just as much as Mayday Parade do, because they deal with self-pity and notions of recovery and endurance, and I think this album does a really good job in doing that. So a few favourites would obviously be the song Cover You Up, which I like because has a little feature with Joe Taylor from Knuckle Puck, which is really nice to have. And also, they don't obviously work with each other because Dan also features on one of Knuckle Puck's songs as well, which is quite cool. I like collaborations like that. Another favourite would be Summer, because of how soft the intro is. It starts off really mellow, very quiet, and then suddenly these unclean vocals are thrown at you, and it's just suddenly filled with like a sense of trauma, a sense of like agony and pain. And that's a song that I hold quite close to my heart because of the things it deals with. Another great song, obviously, 16 is a very good mellow song, and I like the video. It's quite chilled out, and I like how it's sort of slow, and it's very very somber. And another good one is To My Old Self, I think it's called. And because again, it's quite mellow, it's quite chilled out, but then it ends really dramatically. Like suddenly he's really angry, like ah. And I like how it transitions between those two, and this band does a really good job in doing that. So all in all, it's a band which definitely sums up the feelings of being hurt and what it's like to go through tough times, and how you could one day recover. And I guess it's all about moving forward, and that's sort of a kind of a notion that they've been trying to put across through the music. And yeah, so this is a great album to listen to if you like that sort of stuff. So that's my little show and tell and review of those two albums. So if you guys are interested in like pop punk and like emo music, then definitely check these guys out, because these are two really good examples of those genres. Yeah, so oh Jesus. Once again, thank you so much for watching, and I hope you guys check out the next video. So see ya. Okay, what do I say next? They definitely show like how much fun they've got. Jeez. I'm not going to be confused anymore by anybody else. Fucking hell. Even I'm not interested in this video. Christ almighty. Why is it so difficult? Oh, Jesus. It's not boring like your black... No, for God's sake.